Alright, good evening everybody. We're going to do a weekend analysis video breaking down what I see in Nasdaq and dollar index week of January 15th. So starting off on the economic calendar, Monday is a bank holiday, Martin Luther King Day. So I won't be trading then. Tuesday, I won't be trading even though we have a high impact news driver. This is Central Time, by the way. CST, my local time. Tuesday I won't be trading even with that high impact news driver, simply because part of my trading plan is I don't trade the day of a bank holiday or the day following a bank holiday. So more times than not, price is choppy and a little harder to read coming off a bank holiday, simply because the markets have to sort of warm back up and get in sync with each other. So I let the day after a bank holiday go by without me, and then I pick back up, in this case on Wednesday. So Wednesday will be my first trading day in the market this week. Have high impact news drivers pre-market. Thursday, same thing, normal day in the market for me, and Friday as well. So high impact news drivers in the second half of the week that I will be participating in, so that's going to be fun. Starting off on the weekly chart, we always start our analysis on the weekly chart. I don't mark up any weekly levels or anything like that. I don't really get too deep on the weekly chart. All I'm simply trying to do is figure out which direction do I think that weekly candle is likely to expand in. So in this case, for Nasdaq, I'm bullish. I'm expecting to have an upside expansion for this week's candle, which is this right here. And for a dollar, we traded up into this fair value gap, hit the order block. Last week we had an indecisive candle. I prefer to see a down close candle form this week and expand lower. So for a directional bias on the weekly chart, Nasdaq higher, dollar lower. That's what I prefer. Daily chart, this is the time frame where I actually begin to mark up my levels and PD arrays and things of that sort. So we have a balanced price range here. We had a single pass down with this candle, later followed by a single pass up. The section that overlaps right there, okay, that is your balanced price range. So if we do trade down here before taking out buy side, which is something I don't want to see, I'd rather just see us expand, take out buy side, and then we could do whatever we want. But if we do retrace, we have consequent encroachment of this wick. We had this long tail here. I'm taking the midpoint of that. I'm drawing that. I want to see that act as support. If we get below that, this balanced price range, along with this down close candle, which is your bullish order block, we traded into this breaker, low, high, lower, low. This wick here with the fair value gap. So this last down close candle is your order block with fair value gap, but more specifically a balanced price range. Okay, so if we close below this balanced price range, then I'll probably have to flip my bias to bearish. But in all honesty, and I'll show you guys in the lower time frames, I don't even want to see us reach down into this area without taking out buy side up here first. Dollar index, we're not going to go any lower than the daily time frame, simply because, I mean, look at it. It's nothing to break down. Between this high and this low, we've been consolidating at equilibrium literally all week, all past week. So I have no bias for dollar, which is why, even though I'm bullish on Nasdaq, because dollar looks like this, I'm okay being wrong if we don't expand higher and we retrace and go lower, simply because dollar looks like this. Now if dollar looked heavily bearish, like if we saw price action like this here, then I'll be more confident that Nasdaq was going to take out this high and do it quick. But since we look like this, I'm taking this analysis kind of with a grain of salt, so just keep that in mind. Alright, 4-hour chart. So how I like to market my charts, I know there's a lot of new people watching my videos for the first time, so I like to keep all the daily levels on my chart, and when I head down into like the 4-hour time frame, 1 hour, 15-minute, I don't keep those levels on my chart until I'm actually trading. So all these levels here, buy side, balance price range on the daily, that daily consequent encroachment. Okay, basically all these levels will stay on my chart throughout the week, and anything on the lower time frame, I'm just drawing as I trade each day. So here's that buy side that we annotated on the daily chart. If we look back further, we had this low here. We dropped down, took out that low, completely filled in this fair value gap there. Order block rallied. This is a breakaway gap. So I don't want to see this filled. I don't want to see this retraded to until we take out buy side. Okay, and you can also see that daily balance price range. So remember how I didn't want to see this balance price range even get traded to? Well, if we drop down to the 4-hour time frame, it makes even more sense because we have this breakaway gap, and breakaway gaps I don't like to see get traded back into until we have our objectives met up here. Okay, so I want to see this remain open, this fair value gap. We trade down into this higher one, rallied, 3 consecutive down close candles before this move higher is your order block. You take the opening price there, extend it. Of course, with the fair value gap, we drop down into that, snap all the way back up, and we head into a little consolidation. This long wick here, that daily consequent encroachment level lines up pretty neat with the consequent encroachment of this wick as well. Okay, and then of course buy side above here. Hourly chart, this is as low as we're going to go, simply because look at the price action here. This is just going to look more choppy if we head down to the 15-minute, so we're going to stop it right here. But again, taking out that low, this is the breakaway gap on the hourly time frame. I don't want to see us trade back into this. Also, balance price range, I want this taken out first before we, if we ever trade back down into this area here. All right, we already did the dirty work of taking out traders who are long here, traders who are able to participate in this rally higher. They jammed their stop loss underneath this low. We already dropped down and took them out with this move here. All right, so in my mind, I'm thinking the damage is already done as far as going lower. We've already punished traders who are long by taking them out. We have a fair value gap. We traded it into that there, rallied a little bit, taking out this high. This last down close candle here is an order block, so if we do retrace without taking out this high, I want to see if this down close candle supports price, and if you notice, it lines up perfectly with that consequent encroachment of that wick on the daily time frame. So I prefer not to see this low taken out. I want to see this order block and this fair value gap support price eventually taking out this high. We have relative equal highs there, buy side resting up above there, and then buy side resting above here. So preferably, I want to see this low stay in place. If we lose this low, we have an order block here, and of course the balance price range with the breakaway gap, which I don't want to see traded to. Again, I'm taking all of this kind of with a grain of salt. I need dollar to move and break out of that consolidation and pick a direction for me to really be confident and trusting that Nasdaq wants to go higher. But as long as dollar index, let me go back to it. As long as dollar index is stuck in this consolidation here, any bias that I have for NQ, I'm not as trustworthy. All right, I'm proceeding with caution, and I'm kind of just going day by day based on how the price action looks for both dollar and NQ. So that's all I got. I'm about to film another video. I had somebody in Discord ask me, how I use the dollar index in my analysis while I'm trading. So I'm about to go film that, and I'm about to upload this on YouTube. So if you're not in the Discord, join the Discord. We're having fun in there. We're asking questions. We're sharing charts, and we're all just trying to be profitable and make money at the end of the day. So that's all I got for this one. I will see you guys in the market this upcoming week. Specifically, Wednesday is when I will be trading. So until then, I'll see you guys in the next one.